Hi, good evening, and welcome to the Canon Academy Homeschool, and I am Grandma Venus. Today I want to go over some different ways that you can teach your children to use number lines for addition and subtraction, as well as different ways to teach multiplication and division. So first of all, the first thing that I decided to use as far as addition and subtraction is toys. You can take several different small toys and you can use them to add and subtract. For instance, if I have one toy and I add two toys, how many do I have altogether? 1, 2, 3. So if I have 3 toys and I take one away, I have how many toys left? 2. 1, 2. So it's easy as that. Just play with any kind of toys that you have on hand. You can also do things like using a ruler. I have 2 different kinds. You can get these shatterproof rulers anywhere, including Dollar Tree, and they measure the 12 inches, or they have the centimeter numbers down here that go up to 20. Another one I have is from Calvert School, and it's a 12-inch ruler, and if I turn it over, the centimeters actually go to 30, which gives me more numbers to work with. Now, one way to do this is if you have a child just starting out, or even if they're in 3rd or 4th grade and still struggling, you take a clear bingo chip. You can say your problem is 1 plus 5. So you put your bingo chip on 1, and you move over 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, your child can see the number 6 through that bingo chip. If not, all I have to do is pull it down and see, oh, there's my number 6. That's the answer. So 1 plus 5 is 6. Now I can do that backwards. 6 take away 1 is how many? I go 1 space. 1, and I land on the number 5. Now as they get into the bigger numbers, you could use this particular ruler up to 30, most rulers up to 20 as far as things are. Oh, this other ruler does go to 30. I have had rulers that only go to 20. So that's a big help because it gives you a lot to work with. Now another thing is you can actually make a chart. This is a cake board. This is a 9x13 cake board where I put the number line 0 to 20. I also have counting by 2s, 3s, 5s, and 10s, and I also have some shapes. Ignore my drawing. I'm not really good with stars even yet. So, that being said, you can still use the bingo chip. You could laminate this or put a wipe-off sheet over the top, something clear contact paper or whatever, so that they can write on it and draw the little bumps going to the amount of numbers. You could have them lay something down, or a game piece or something. So next we're going to go, so I hope that explained to you how to do addition and subtraction, make it easy like a game. I find that if kids think they're playing a game, they are more content to do as many problems as they need to according to the work page they're on, or the text in the book. Now that being said, we're going to move on to multiplication, which is just a quicker way to add, and division is a quicker way to subtract. And of course, multiplication and division are opposite of each other, just as addition and subtraction are. So, I would suggest teaching them skip counting first. And the easiest tables to learn are 5s and 10s. And I say that because you have 5 fingers on your hand and 10 on both hands, so they have something to work with. And I don't know, just the rhythm of it, plus the fact you can say, if you count by 5s, it's always going to end in a 5 or a 0. If you count by 10s, it's always going to end in a 0, and it's going to go 1 up each time. Then I go back to 2s and 4s. Now, also, we can go back to grouping toys and say, I have 2 groups of toys, and there are 2 in each group. How many do I have all together? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 2 times 2 is 4. Don't be afraid to use your fingers. I do not care what anyone says. It's something that helps them learn quicker, and eventually they will get away from that when they have memorized their tables. So 2 and 2 are 4. Now, another way to do that is, and I took these from like a 4th or 5th grade Calvert Teacher's Manual. They're fact sheets E through H, and they go from the multiplication table of 2s through 9s, and they teach everything all at once. So first you start by counting by 2s, and they start at the bottom. They have 2s to go up, and I believe that's just a signal that you're adding more on each time. From there, they multiply 2 times a number, like 2 times 1 is at the bottom, 2 times 9 is at the top, and the children have to come up with the answer. Step 3 is still multiplying by 2s, but it's like how many 2s equals such and such. So how many 2s equals 2? 1. How many 2s equals 6? 3. And so forth. So they fill in those blanks. Then it goes to dividing by 2. How many 2s are in 2? 1. How many 2s are in 6? 3. So they're learning it all at the same time. And here is what it looks like. And then at the bottom of this particular sheet, there's the 3's table. Now, this is one of those sheet protectors that you can put into a binder. I love these. They make great wipe-off pages, and you can have a whole binder full of whatever. And I do like the new ones that they have out with the little colorful canvas bindings on them and things like that you can slide your sheet down in or sideways and stuff, because they are more durable and stuff. They don't like scrunch when you write on them. Sometimes these scrunch up a little bit and things. But this is a great way to learn. Now, there's some other ways. If a child is in school, they're going to have charts up on the wall that they can look at that will help them if they know where to look. So, I went to an auction last year, Christie's auction, for a educational store that had gone out of business during the year, and I was able to get my hands on this little package of learning stickers, and there's 20 in a pack, and they had sold them for $5.99, and I got them for $1. Now, these can be stuck on the little hard laptops you have that have the pillows underneath, pillow cushions attached to them. I have one of those that has these on them. It has the abbreviations for states and things like that. I have like 5 or 6 different stickers for different things on it, so that it would always be handy for my daughter. I also took the old films, transparency films, and I stuck some of these on them. And she was able to take that and put it in a notebook or a binder and take it with her and have it handy. And because it was laminated, she could flip it over and work a problem if she needed to with a dry erase, and then erase it off after she had copied it to her paper. Now, when we were involved with the Calvert homeschool curriculum, they would send out these little notebooks for her to use, and on the back it had all this information, different measurements and things, and of course the multiplication table at the bottom. Now this one is in blue, black, and white, but you could color code it with colored pencils if you like. Also, sometimes when you buy this particular composition book at a store, the back cover has your multiplication table, and your measurements and conversion charts and things like that. So how handy is that? So another thing I would suggest is, again, grouping toys, cereal, M&Ms, whatever. No matter how old your child is, they're going to enjoy that. Maybe having them work it on a chalkboard. On the chalkboard, if you do it, the addition, I would start out, I know some workbooks started out horizontally. I like the vertical version. So 1 plus 4 equals, and it would be 5. Now when I do zeros, 2 plus 0 equals. 0 is a bubble. It pops. 2 falls through. I would suggest doing the same thing with the multiplication. And then as the children become, and with the subtraction, as the children become more adept to working at this, then I would show them that horizontally is the same problem and everything. Be sure that when you do these, you also reverse them so the children know that 0 plus 2 is the same thing. 2 reaches up, pops that bubble, and 2 falls through. So I'm hoping that some of this was a big help to you and everything, gave you some ideas to work with. You can make your own little things. Some people take little strips of paper and they'll write a number at the top, and then they'll write skip counting all the way down and things like that. It's whatever works for you. Make it look like a rocket ship, make it look like a large castle, anything to get your child's interest, and eventually they will learn those. There are little bracelets you can get through Lakeshore Learning. They do sell out really fast when they have them, and they have times tables on them all the way around. You can get them for sight words too. I thought I'd just throw that in there because I'm talking about the bracelets now. So those are different things to do, and I hope that you find this video was helpful. If so, hit like below and please subscribe. The more subscriptions I get, the more time I will be allowed to have to explain things in further detail and things, and maybe answer other questions that I've seen in some of the homeschool groups that I'm on. So again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Have a good night. Thank you.